PBA Pepsi Open title, North Rock Lanes here in Wichita, Kansas. Monday Night Countdown. We're talking football. Provides comprehensive analysis, interviews, highlights, up-to-the-minute NFL news, live reports from the site of ABC's Monday Night Football game. That's coming up here on ESPN tomorrow, 7:30 Eastern Time. That leads you to the Monday Night Football game. How about Brett Favre, his 200th straight start? 35 straight games with a touchdown pass, going for Johnny U's all-time record of 47 in a row against the St. Louis Rams. We saw Danny Wiseman battle Mike Edwards in our first semifinal today. Ever wonder what Danny does to take his mind off bowling? Andy asks him that and much more in this week's Miller Six-Pack.
When you're not bowling, what is the one thing you have to do but hate the most?
Well, when I take my 96 Mustang Cobra out to car shows, I have to clean it up because it's got to look good. And, 2 years ago, I redid the whole thing, the undercarriage and whatnot, and now it's, it sits in the garage and gets dirty, and I hate doing it, but I have to make it look good.
As a child, what was your favorite toy?
Probably my Matchbox cars. I used to run them around the house all the time, constantly, and I still have them, and they still have the carpet threads in the sprockets, so I just used to throw them all around the carpet.
When you were growing up, who did you want to be someday?
Actually, I played baseball when I was a child, and I was very good at it, and I always wanted to be a pitcher, and one of my favorite athletes at the time was Jim Palmer. When he was on his game, he was on, and I always actually emulated his style when I pitched, when I was 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. So I'd have to go the baseball way and say Jim Palmer.
What goes through you when you hear people cheering for you?
It actually gets me going. I like that. I like the attention, and I like when people are behind me, even if they're not booing or whatever. It drives me, to get up there and whomever I'm bowling, to kick their butt. It just gives me elaboration. I love it. I love the attention. I thrive on it.
What is the one thing you do that takes your mind completely off of bowling?
Music. I get away. Oh, you got to have the heavy stuff. The Godsmack and the good stuff.
What is your all-time favorite line from a movie?
Probably Forrest Gump. The Mama always told me life is like a box of chocolates.
Come on, you got to finish it.
I don't know the rest. That's just
you never know
what you're going to get. Exactly. Right? Yeah, well, it pertains to life.
Absolutely.
So.
There's Danny Wiseman. Still having a smile on his face despite the loss in the semifinal. He'll be in action at the PBA Denver Open. We'll be there too, Lakewood, Colorado. Don't forget, folks, to log on to PBA.com to sign up for those 3 different sites in the Denver area for the Pro-Ams on Saturday, December 4th. Then we're headed off to the Earl Anthony Medford Classic. Lava Lane's a great spot to be for us in Southern Oregon. Pro-Ams at Lava Lanes on Saturday, December 11th. To buy tickets for PBA events, register to bowl in Pro-Ams, and for more information about bowling in the PBA Tour Qualifier, head to the Tour's official website, PBA.com. All the latest news, stats, and standings, including live scoring during match play, just a mouse click away. We'll hear from the finalists, Jason Hurd, Mike Edwards, have the Geico Direct Championship recap as well when we return to Wichita, Kansas. Here at North Rock Lanes in Wichita, PBA pros and their families gather to give thanks as they shared Thanksgiving dinner right here in Kansas. Of the many blessings they shared, loved ones remained atop the list.
Well, I'm very thankful for my friends, my family, especially my mother and my stepfather.
Well, I'm thankful for all my family and friends, and having my best friend as my wife, and being able to make a living doing something I love, bowl.
Family was the theme of the day, so for PBA bowlers like Steve Jarris and Parker Bone III, have a safe and happy holiday season.
Happy Thanksgiving.
848 turkeys this week. Not bad. How about Mike Edwards, who's in our final, the leader in that category? 3 straight strikes. And Eddie, as they call him, from Tulsa, Oklahoma, is ready to go. That's because he knocked off Danny Wiseman in style, 222 to 164. Jason Hurd all over last week's champion Rick Lawrence, 243 185. So it's Hurd, Edwards for the championship here today in Wichita. Time now for the Geico Direct Championship recap. Mr. Peterson.
Thank you, Dave. And remember that that's not how many turkeys they ate. That's how many 3-baggers they threw. Early in match number 1, it was Mike Edwards defeating Danny Wiseman by the score of 222-164. A split by Wiseman in the 7th did him in. Then in match number 2, it was Jason Hurd defeating last week's winner, Rick Lawrence, by the score of 243-185. Hurd started quick with 4 in a row and cruised to victory, setting up a great championship match. Dave?
Jason Hurd, someone's got to break here. One of you two's got to break a long streak without a win. Now, a singles win for you would be your first in your career. What would that mean to you?
Oh, that's a dream come true. Been wanting to accomplish that since I've been out here, and I'm one match closer today, so hopefully it'll happen.
Best of luck, Jason. Mike Edwards, you hadn't been in a show since '99, as we talked about in the first interview today. How are the nerves now, the experience of being out here for one match? Do you feel relaxed?
Oh, I feel great. I'm ready to go. Everything feels good. Shot looks good, so I'm ready to get it on.
Plain and simple, ready. He's ready. So is Jason Hurd.
Keys to victory today for Mike Edwards. Be patient and don't get overwhelmed. So far, so good. Jason Hurd, he's got to be himself, and that's what he did. And don't be afraid to get in and wheel it. Right now, this is shaping up to be a great title match. These are the only 2 players out of the first 2 matches to bolt 200-plus game. One guy going straight, that's Mike Edwards. One guy hooking the whole lane, Jason Hurd.
Edwards shot. High, but oh! 7th pin.
Not the way you want to start.
No.
A championship match. However, it is only the first frame. Watch this. 2-pin jumps right over the top of the 7.
Edwards trying to snap the 3rd longest drought of the 58 exempt bowlers without a win. Takes that 7-pin. Woo.
Too good.
In the field, Brian LeClaire has not won in 317 events. Richie Wolf, 290. Mike Edwards was 210 without a victory. 210 straight events without winning. Maybe it ends today. Hurd had a pretty good semifinal. 10-pin.
2 good shots by both players to start the game. Keep in mind, Dave Ryan, that neither player is, as you can see, Kim Hurd, Jason's wife, neither player has earned a spot into season-ending Tournament of Champions. So the winner of this match gets into that prestigious event and knocks out Dave D'Entremont, who got in by winning this very tournament in 2002.
Leading us to our Baby Ruth Real Deal matchup, Edwards Hurd.
Again, we talked about how tight the matchup was, Dave. Average, dead on. Strike percentage, 1.3% higher. So close. It's anybody's game. It's going to come down to carry.
Well, that came in high, too. Really jetting toward that head pin. And the 10-pin remains. It's ball reaction, oil breaking down as the match progresses. It's such a big key.
See the side roll and revolutions? Once that ball grabs a lane, it's going to travel in direction rotation. That one just grabbed the lane surface a little too early.
With a spare ball, powerful mark.
Be careful with that white sign.
Next week, Jason Hurd, Mike Edwards go for another win. We'll be in Denver. PBA Tour rolls on Sunday, 1 o'clock Eastern Time, 10 on the West Coast. 11 o'clock Mountain Time in the Rockies as the PBA Tour returns to Denver in that area for the first time since the early 1990s. Look forward to that. Edwards is high again. This time doesn't get the break and has a split to deal with.
Not really sure what to say about that. This looks like a pretty good shot off his hand. The ball bites a little bit too quick down the lane. You see the change of direction. Doesn't get the good break, tripping the 4-6 out.
Takes care of the 6. Number 4 stands, though, for Mike Edwards, so there's an open frame. But as we know, these one-game matches, better to have the open early on than later with pins accumulating. didn't like that either. On the release. 3-6 up for Mike Edwards, who needs some strikes now for that open frame.
Looks like Mike Edwards is coming a bit unraveled here in the championship match. You know, it's so important when you bowl for a championship on the PBA Tour that your thought process doesn't change. I mean, just because you're bowling one more game, you can't start thinking about titles and money and tournament of champion berths and that kind of stuff. You got to stay focused and just concentrate on the job at hand. Dave DeAngemont will get bumped today.
Pepsi Open in Wichita, Kansas. One will take home a tour championship. I want to thank John Crum, the North Rock Lanes proprietor here in Wichita, hosting this event yet again. We were here in 2002. Open up that season. Dave DeAngemont, who's on that bubble, won that event. Let's check in with the Uniroyal Tire Rock and Roll this week, Randy.
Thanks, Dave. And speaking of roll, we're going to watch Jason Hurd roll the 2-8 to give him a key double in this title match. Watch this. Oh, hello, double. You think Jason Hurd thinks he got a break? One for me.
Absolutely. Hurd's working on a double right now. Edwards is down 22. Got to get it going. That's the way to do it. Going right at that head pin. 10 down in the pin.
You notice the directional change down the lane on that ball was very subtle. The reason why it was very subtle, because he made a ball change. He sees the lanes burning up in front of him, breaking down, the oil actually going away in the area of the zone he's playing. He goes to a
straight and hard player.
Excuse me, Dave. He goes to a ball that doesn't read that or see that lane friction as much as the ball he was using. You see where Jason Hurd's playing as opposed to Mike Edwards. Jason Hurd burning up that area where Mike Edwards was playing. Big time adjustment right there.
All right. Back on.
And the Wichita State collegiate bowlers know someday they'd like to do that on TV as well. Maybe becoming pros down the road. 2 big strikes. Mike Edwards, now it's Jason Hurd's turn. Looks for the turkey ball. Has it.
Gobble, gobble, gobble. Sets the table for Thanksgiving with a big strike there. 3-bagger, Jason Hurd. 22-pin lead. Can increase it to 32 with a strike. Looking for his first singles title and a berth into the season-ending Tournament of Champions event. And an exemption for next year.
There's that breakdown. Through 5. Midway point. Lane level look at yet another strike. Jason Hurd keeps it going. 4 in a row, and he's definitely in a groove.
Let's see where he's at now. Let's see, make a little adjustment. He's into 26-27, feeding it out to that same break point with all that power when that ball hits the pins.
This is a different bowler, Jason Hurd, than we were seeing on TV a couple weeks ago, where he was a nervous wreck. Edwards has found his groove. Speaking of nerves settling now, and the match cranks up, and the chess match continues. The differing styles, the big hook from Hurd, and straight and hard, that's Mike Edwards' game.
Mike Edwards taking a re-rack on the left lane for one of 2 reasons. Either the pins are off spot or trying to buy some time.
Tonight, Raiders-Broncos coming your way. You're on ESPN, 8:30 Eastern Time. Mike Shanahan, 15-4 all-time against his former team since being dismissed as coach. Earlier in the year, big win for Denver in Oakland, 31-3 over the Raiders. Trying to make it 2 in a row. 10-pin.
Brag, man.
So it was the rack. It was a bad rack. Instead of taking another re-rack, you're allowed 2 a game. He decides to go with it, and the rack caused the 6-pin to lay in the gutter and not come out and bump that 10 out.
Had 3 straight strikes going. Down 23 pins. Ooh, the side of the pin. He wasn't too confident there upon the release, and we know darn well.
See that one?
That would have been a disaster for Mike Edwards this late in the match.
And it's the wry smile on Mike Edwards' face as he barely converts the 10-pin, but the concern is that this man right here is going to run away and hide.
Looks for a 5th straight strike and a 33-pin lead. All that.
Dave, you talked about how comfortable Jason Hurd looks today, how it's a different Jason Hurd. Again, a win gets him into the Dexter Tournament of Champions. The reason why is because he has a ball reaction that he feels comfortable with. He doesn't have to fit it in between, 2 hairs out there. He feels like he has a little bit of room. He likes to play inside. He's in his comfort zone, or what we call his wheelhouse.
This for a 43-pin lead, 6 in a row. Had to hurry. And a 2-pin for Jason Hurd, but avoids the disastrous split. Folks, he's got 1 career title. That was a doubles event with Johnny Petraglia. He's never won a singles championship. The doubles title came at the National Bowling Stadium, Reno, Nevada, back in '99. 2 players who have not done a lot of winning on the PBA Tour, but it's changing. Gets the side of the pin there again.
Sorry.
Playing with a lot of hook on that spare.
Yeah, I thought he missed that, like Mike thought he missed the 10-pin on the same lane.
Things are going your way. They're going your way.
Oh, God bless you.
Did he think he had it?
No, he thought he missed it.
That's why I'm pretty sure. He thought he was way off. Down 32 pins, 8th frame. Mike Edwards got to have a strike. 2-pin stands for Eddie.
Can't get his ball to the pocket. He's got to go real hard and firm with a ball that doesn't react. If he misses just a pinch to the right, it's not going to get back.
Takes care of that spare. Mike Edwards started bowling on the PBA Tour back in 1982. He's only won 1 title. His best seasons were 85 and 91, where he won 4, made 4 shows.
This is where Mike Edwards started playing. This is where Jason Hurd started playing. Jason continued to go this way, and he burned up this area right in front of Mike Edwards. The only chance Mike would have would be to move way in.
Where's the Australian accent?
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Right at that head pin. That was high. Now the adjustments as the oil breaks down, just not there. Things looking very good for Jason Hurd.
Yeah, Jason Hurd just has to stay behind the foul line and knock pins down, and he is going to win his first singles title. And Dave Ryan, quite frankly, no big surprise. I mean, this guy's been knocking on the door since the start of the year. And it was only a matter of time before somebody was going to let him in.
Last year, earned his exemption on points, 39th in the tour ranking list. He was outside the top 50 with 6 events to go, but enjoyed some top 30 finishes down the stretch and was exempt. Not by much. Perfect adjustment, big strike, Jason Hurd. This is a guy who won just $26,000 on tour last year. $10,000 of that came with a 4th place finish. He lost in the wild card match, the season opening show in Omaha, Nebraska. And now he's about to win $40,000 and a tour title, an exemption, and a spot in the TOC.
It's actually worth a lot more than just $40,000 today, isn't it, Dave?
Just needs 4. We'll take 7. And a victory for Jason Hurd. First ever singles title comes today here in Wichita. This thing is all over. A great week wraps up for Mike Edwards, who had gone 79 shows without a TV appearance. His streak of not winning a title will continue. Jason's wife must be completely elated. She's made the trip from Florida, and was it ever worth it? A great moment for Kim and Jason Hurd. He is the PBA Pepsi Open champion over Mike Edwards in the final today from Wichita. Finally, he has a singles win. We'll hear from him next.
Word.
Pepsi. By Miller High Life. To live simply, proudly, boldly, manly. This is the High Life. And by Bear. The more you know, the more you trust Bear. It had been a long time. 132 events with no singles title for Jason Hurd. That all changes today as he defeats Mike Edwards 226 to 190 in the championship match here from Wichita. Congratulations to Jason Hurd. It's been a great show today. Be sure to join us again next Sunday, 1 o'clock Eastern Time on ESPN for the PBA Denver Open from Brunswick Zone in Lakewood, Colorado, near Denver. It's been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on ESPN.com. For the entire crew, my partner Randy Peterson, it's Dave Ryan saying so long, reminding you Power Golf, the Pinnacle LDA Tour from Albuquerque is coming up next. What a day for Jason Hurd.